All right, so I think we are live here today, and we are live on PMC Lounge, our YouTube channel, of course. We are all about project management, PMP certification, and other project management related certifications like ACP, CAPM. So, in this video, we are talking about the updated eligibility criteria for the PMP exam. So, if you're someone who's just starting off your professional career, if you're someone who is in, let's say, in some college and you want to get yourselves the PMP certification, you should know that there is actually a criteria that you need to fulfill to be able to eligible to take up the exam for the PMP certification. So today that is what we are going to essentially cover. This is our live session which we do every week here at PMC Lounge, and we dive deep into the world of project management. We try to bring you valuable insights that can, elevate your career, help in your project management career. And today, this session is totally focused on you getting yourselves the PMP certification. And it starts with trying to understand whether or not you are eligible for the PMP exam. Because a lot of people out there are just going to tell you, oh, you're eligible. By hook or crook, you're eligible. Go write the exam, get yourselves the certification. But then you are not able to derive all the benefits that you could if you were actually eligible for the certification and then taken up the certification exam and obtained the PMP certification. So if you're not eligible, I always suggest do not go for PMP. So that is why this session is very, very important. We do, as I said, we do PMC Lounge live sessions every Friday. So definitely subscribe to hang out with us. We are all about simplifying project management. We also tend to cover project management industry specific news, industry specific trends. So that way, even if you are a seasoned professional in the field of project management, you are going to get knowledge out of this that you can basically use to advance in your career. So I hope you're ready for today's session. And this is a bit about me. I started my career in project management in 2011. Some of the certifications that I have are listed here. I have been a speaker, mentor, consultant in several firms that are listed. And as we go into today's live session, I hope you are settling down comfortably. You may get yourselves a snack or a glass of water. Staying hydrated is the key, right? So feel free to join the conversation in the chat if you're tuning in live. We would love to hear what your thoughts are on today's topics or if you have any questions for us. And for our replay audience, drop your comments, toss in some likes, and help us share the knowledge so that we can reap the benefits together. Our live sessions, the one that you're watching right now, these are divided into three parts. The first one is welcome, the second one is the featured content, and the third one is last call where we tie things down. So these are the three sessions. Of course, we are right now, not the sessions, but these are the three sections of every live session. And right now we are in the welcome section itself. I'm just trying to warm things up here, and I'd like to share a bit about pmclounge.com. PMC in PMC Lounge stands for Project Management Certifications. So we are all about PMP, ACP, CAPM, all those good project management certifications out there. But there's definitely more to us than just exams. We are your go-to source for staying updated on the latest in project management, industry trends, reports, and all that good stuff, right? So our mission has always been to simplify project management. We try to break down complex topics in easily understandable language, and that's something that you're going to find a lot of our community members also rave about, right? So we for PMP exams, right, you can use our resources. Thousands of our community members have actually passed their PMP exam using the resources on pmclounge.com. They could be articles that are available for free on pmclounge.com, or they could be the videos that we have. Check out the playlist section of this YouTube channel, right? Definitely subscribe. It's This is where all the good stuff you are going to find, right? The playlist section is what I was talking about. So definitely subscribe to us, check out our playlist section, stay up to date. As I said, we go live every week. And we are also active on all other socials as well. As you can see, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And definitely check out our Telegram channel, PMC Zone, to stay up to date and stay in the loop of all the updates from our website and our YouTube channel. So before we get into the feature content, here's a quote to ponder over for today. If you don't know where you're going, how can you expect to get there? This is this I think is very relatable for project managers, because we are all about planning stuff. We are all about being able to foresee the kind of change our project is going to basically bring, right? So as project managers, we are people who know where we are going, right? Who plan where we need to go. And it is also our responsibility that all members of our project team understand where we are going, right? And that is how you can expect to get there. So I just wanted to take up this code because I thought it was pretty relatable for everyone working in the project management domain, in the project management industry. If you are a project manager yourself, if you are responsible for ensuring that the team members of your project team, right, they are able to see where they are going as part of the project, let me know in the comments. How do you make sure that people are aware and people can see the vision that you have, people can see the goals of your project? Let me know in the comments and definitely join in the conversation. And with that, we go to the feature content for this video, and that is all about the exam eligibility criteria. And there's a slight change in the exam eligibility criteria, and that is the reason why I wanted to take this topic up as part of this video, as part of this live session. And kudos to PMI. Actually, PMI shares the eligibility criteria on their website, and they have made it even more, I would say, easier to understand. So a lot of people had a lot of confusions around these eligibility criteria, the set of eligibility criteria that PMI had. And they have tried over and over again to ensure that they simplify it to the point where I think it is very easy to understand and be able to gauge whether or not you are eligible for the PMP exam. As I said, if somebody tells you that it doesn't matter whether you're eligible or not, get yourselves the PMP certification, and you somehow get the PMP certification, you are not going to reap the benefits. You are not going to get the advantages of the PMP certification that you would otherwise have received, right? Or you would have otherwise gained. So that is why very, very important to make sure to ask yourselves and to be true to yourselves to understand whether or not you are eligible for the PMP examination. So let's look at the criteria. So there are two sets of criteria here, as you can see. You either fall in this category or you fall in the second category. So there's no third category here. There are only two categories, and you should fall in one of these. Now let's talk about the first set here. The requirement number one is 4-year college or university degree. Now, this is something which also used to create some sort of confusions, specifically because a lot of people come from countries, and for example, here in India, where you don't necessarily have 4-year college degrees, unless you are going for engineering or architecture, right? Those degrees can be 4-year or more. But if you're going for usual bachelor's degree, they are not 4-year long, right? They are 3-year college degrees. But PMI has mentioned here a university degree as well. So the global equivalent also applies. So even if you have, let's say, a bachelor's in business administration, a bachelor's in commerce, a bachelor's in arts, and all of these are a bachelor's in science, all of these in India are going to be 3-year degrees and not 4-year degrees. It clearly mentions here that university degrees are also applicable, right? So even if you have a 3-year degree, you can still be eligible for the PMP exam. You don't have to have 4-year college degree, right? The global equivalent here can be a 3-year college degree as well. So that is the reason why they've mentioned a university degree here or 4 years in college. Whatever that is applicable to you, you can basically apply for the PMP exam. So that's first thing to consider. Even if you have a 3-year college degree, right, the global equivalent is a 4-year college degree. The global equivalent is the university degree, right? So a lot of, so specifically here in India, we have these class 10, and then we have 2 more years in junior college, right? So that is actually being counted here when they say 4-year college, right? So basically the bottom line to understand from this first line is that if you have a 4-year degree in India, it could be engineering, it could be architecture, right? You are eligible for PMP. If you have a 3-year degree, then also you are eligible for PMP because you already have spent 2 years in junior college after your class 10, which is actually mentioned in the next set of eligibility requirements, right? A high school or a secondary school diploma, right? So this is something to understand, and I wanted to make sure that you essentially understand this. If you have a bachelor's degree, if you're in India or if you're in any other country that only has 3-year college degrees, but you reach there after finishing class 10 and 2 years in junior college, you are actually eligible, right? You fall in the first set of requirements itself. Next is 36 months of experience leading projects within the past 8 years. Now, earlier this used to say 4,500 hours of project management experience and all that, and they have PMI has simplified that as well. Now it clearly says 36 months of experience. So that means 3 years of experience. But then it says in within the past 8 years. That means in the last 8 years of your work experience, you should have spent at least 3 years or 36 months leading projects. This is the requirement that a lot of people do not get correctly. It clearly mentions that you should have spent 36 months leading projects. Now, leading projects does not mean that you have to be a project manager. Your job title was a project manager. But then at the same time, it doesn't mean that you were simply coding software. You were not leading project, right? You have to be in a position. You could be a member of the project management office. You could be an assistant project manager. You could be a project manager. You could be a team lead, which is leading a small part of a very large project. So you are essentially still leading a project, right? So when we say projects, we can think of very large projects. Let's say construction of a dam, and the dam is being constructed by the government, and you are responsible just for a smaller part of that construction. Maybe you are the project manager or you are the procurement manager, making sure all the procurements are being done correctly. So you're leading a small sub project of this large dam construction project, right? So still you are leading a project, right? You are leading a part of this large project. So you are still considered as someone who is leading project. But if you were someone who was simply painting the walls of that dam, obviously you did not lead the project, right? You might have done that for 3 years, but you are not eligible for the PMP exam. And that is why I say be true to yourself. Are you someone who has led projects for at least 3 years in the last 8 years? If yes, you are eligible for PMP. If no, you are not eligible for PMP. And this is where, as I said, a lot of people get it wrong, because there are a lot of mentors out there who are selling you their PMP courses, and they are telling you that even if you have not led projects, you are still eligible for the PMP exam. No, sir or ma'am, you are not eligible. And that is where the problem is. Even if you think that you're eligible, even if you know, get yourselves the PMP certification, you fill out the application form, you study for PMP, you pass the PMP exam. The problem would be when you actually appear for a job interview, when you want to switch and get yourselves a project manager position, because you were not in a project manager position. If you were in the project manager position, you would have this experience already. But since you did not have that experience, and now you have done your PMP certification, you would want to get yourselves a project manager position. And this is where the problem is going to be, because the interviewer is going to see PMP certification as just one line on your resume. That's it. The rest of your interview will be focused on your experience as a project manager, which you might not have, and your skills and capabilities as a project manager, which you might not have because you have not done this work, right? So that is why I say, make sure you have this 36 months of experience leading projects. This is the most important criteria that you must fulfill before getting yourselves the PMP certification. If you have this experience and then you get yourselves the PMP certification, it is basically, I don't want to say 100% sure, it is not a 100% guarantee for sure, but getting yourselves the PMP certification after having this project management experience, you are definitely going to get the advantages of PMP. You are definitely going to get that promotion. You are definitely going to switch your jobs and get yourselves a higher pay, right? But please focus on having this 36 months of experience leading projects. The next set of eligibility criteria, but before we go that, there's a third point that we should cover, and that is 35 hours of project management education. Now, this is where, when I spoke earlier, that there are people who are trying to sell their courses to you. They're trying to sell you the 35 hours of project management education courses. And that is where they're telling you that even if you don't have this 36 months leading projects, come buy my course, you're still eligible, but you are not eligible. Okay. So get yourselves the experience first. Once you have that, get yourselves 35 hours of project management education, right? This is the 35 hours classes that you need to attend. You can get it online, you can get it offline. There are a lot of people offering this. I do my course as well, but I'm not selling you that in this video, so we'll move on. But the second part of this requirement is training of 35 hours or the CAPM certification. So CAPM is an entry level project management certification that is offered by PMI. And if you actually do not have this 36 months of project management experience, leading projects, then you should get yourselves the CAPM certification. So I mentioned how if you do not have the 3 years of experience leading projects, then you should get yourselves the CAPM certification, which is what PMI also suggests here. Not eligible, you may qualify to apply for the CAPM certification. So if you don't have the experience, go for CAPM certification. If you get yourselves the CAPM certification, you don't even need this 35 hours of project management education, right? You're already eligible for PMP. So that is something that you can consider. Now let's talk about the second set of eligibility criteria, and that is high school or secondary school diploma. So this is whatever your global equivalent is, wherever you reside in the world, what is the meaning of high school in your region is something that should be applicable here. In India, high school is essentially class 10, and that is, I think, the global equivalent. Anywhere you go, I think class 10 is what is considered as high school, right? You may get yourselves a secondary school diploma as well. Some of the countries do offer that. Even in India, you have this secondary school diploma. That is something that will make you eligible. But for this set of requirements, you should now have 60 months of experience leading projects within the past 8 years. That means in the last 8 years, out of these 8 years, for 5 years, you should have led projects. So again, the same, whatever that I spoke of in the previous set of requirements, that applies here as well. Make sure your experience is in leading projects. It is not that you were part of the project team, you were not leading that project, you worked on it for 5 years and you think that you have the experience of leading projects. That is not how it works. And finally, the third one, it remains the same: 35 hours of project management education or training, or the CAPM certification, right? So this is common between both of these. So I hope you are able to understand what the PMP eligibility criteria is. PMI has clearly mentioned it on their website, and honestly speaking, you should be true to yourself and judge whether or not you are eligible for the PMP certification. If you're not, go for CAPM. CAPM is a really good entry level project management certification as well. So you can get yourselves the CAPM certification. You can then get yourselves into project management, get this 3 years of experience leading projects, and then get yourselves the PMP certification. That way you are basically bound to derive all the advantages out of PMP certification. PMP remains to be the gold standard when it comes to project management certification. PMP remains the number one project management certification out there. All right, now let's say you are eligible for the PMP. Congratulations, you might fit into either this set of criteria or this set of criteria. What should you do next? Well, this is where I would like to pitch in the PMC Lounge PMP study plan, right? Even if you type this without these hyphens, you should be able to reach to this page, right? So pmclounge.com/PMP study plan. And this is our most up-to-date study plan. And we essentially give you a study plan which can help you clear the exam in 7 weeks. 50 days is all it takes. And I will share a link to this video where I talk about and explain this entire PMP study plan of 7 weeks. And we have essentially talked about how 7 weeks are enough. There are certain resources mentioned here. There are several resources, as I mentioned, even on this YouTube channel. If you go to the playlist section of this YouTube channel, you will find all the topics that you need to study for the PMP exam, all the knowledge areas, all the domains, everything about Agile is already there in the playlist section of this YouTube channel. And that is the reason why I'm not selling you any course, because everything is available for free. And I want you to take advantage of that. I want you to get yourselves the CAPM or the PMP certification, because everything is available for free essentially, right? So subscribe to us, check out the playlist section of our YouTube channel, and you will be able to understand and go over all the concepts that are needed to pass the PMP exam. But if you want to talk to me about project management, or if you want to talk to me about anything related to your career goals, questions around the PMP certification, project management career path, or if you are right now in some other domain, you could be in operations, you could be in marketing, you could be doing whatever, and you want to get yourselves into the project management domain. So you can get in touch with me. You can contact admin@pmclounge.com, and the admin is going to help you schedule a meeting with me. This is called Lounge Access. If you go to our website, pmclounge.com, you will find a section for Lounge Access as well. Even on this YouTube channel, there are several snippets of videos from my Lounge Access discussions. So this is where you get direct access to me, and we can schedule a quick Zoom call and we can talk about whatever queries that you may have around PMP, around the project management domain, around your project management career. I can guarantee you that I am not going to sell you anything on that call. And this is something that you can actually basically see from some of the testimonials that we have received on this Lounge Access initiative as well. If you have any feedback, it keeps us stay motivated, it keeps us going. Definitely go over to pmclounge.com/write and you can drop your feedback as well or your testimonial. This is from someone we recently did a launch access session with. So I hope you got value out of this video. I hope you were able to understand what the PMP eligibility criteria really is. If you like our work, definitely consider contributing by going over to pmclounge.com/contribute. You can use the thanks button on this channel, or you can join us as well. And keep learning should be showing you two other videos that you can watch next and continue your project management knowledge journey. I'll catch you guys in the next one.